was a little bit better of an effort right there.
Pippen takes off and kicks it out.
What is going on, everybody? Jamie Shaw here on the Absolute Basketball Experience. And on today's episode, we have Aaron Nesmith, one that all the NBA draft experts are talking about as a top 15 pick in the upcoming draft. We talked to him about our long-term relationship that we've known each other since he was in middle school, how he's progressed since his time in middle school, his relationships with Darius Garland and Jerry Stackhouse and Khris Middleton, and what he does well, what he's hearing, his game, and so much more as he's going through this draft process and everything. Very excited to peel back the layers and let y'all see kind of an in-depth thing about Aaron, get to know Aaron a little bit more as well. But before we get into it, we ask the normal, if you would go ahead and subscribe to this channel, if you would go ahead and click the like button, give it the thumbs up, and leave us in the comments below who your all-time favorite Vanderbilt Commodore is. All-time favorite Vanderbilt Commodore in the comments below. Excited to hear what you have to say. And if you enjoy what Aaron has to say in this content, please feel free to share it across your platforms as well. But without further ado, here is Aaron Nesmith on the Absolute Basketball Experience with Jamie Shaw. Thank you guys very much.
This basketball program in a good place with Jerry Stackhouse. Vanderbilt leading by 1 out of the under 16. Simo right back on the other end for a long two by Skylar Hogan. There's been no opening up any daylight in the second half. It was 32-32 at the break. And pretty much even. Maybe all rebounding and defense, huh? That's 6 new players on their roster, 5 making their NCAA Division I debut this season.
3 of their 5 field goal attempts, and now 4 of their 6 have been. Vanderbilt with a change in athletic director, with Malcolm Turner stepping in for the late David Williams.
Tough angle from the corner, but Nesmith rattles it home. That's the mark. Rebound to Jordan Wright.
Good job by Nesmith contesting that shot.
Nesmith gets inside, hangs in the air, and flips it over the front iron.
What is going on, everybody? Jamie Shaw here on the Absolute Basketball Experience. I am joined today by Vanderbilt guard, projected draft pick, Aaron Nesmith. Aaron, how you doing today?
Doing good. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good, man. Good. I appreciate you coming on. First things first. So you grew up in Charleston, and then you went to Vanderbilt. I have to ask you the food situation. Where is better food at, Charleston or Nashville?
Definitely Charleston. Charleston's got the best food versus Nashville by far, but Nashville's a close second.
I was about to say Charleston food is just another level. So starting off here, through high school, you won 93 games in your 4 years, freshman to senior year. 3 state titles. You're one of only 15 players to score at least 2,067 career points since 1981 and a 3-time All-State Player of the Year. What do you think your legacy that you left is in the state of South Carolina basketball?
I guess just a winner, someone who always wanted to win, someone who took it, one game at a time, and, someone who just worked hard. Just someone who wanted the solid dream, who wanted to achieve, and someone who wanted to go get it.
So looking back on it, a lot of things people might not know, especially given the landscape of where things are at now. You won the Gatorade State Player of the Year over Zion Williamson your senior year. Looking back on, what was that like when you won that award? And looking back on it now, like what kind of story is that to be able to tell?
I mean, it's just pretty cool. Just to have the banner hanging up in my high school. Something that will always be there. I think that's just the coolest part of it all.
And then even more so too, you and Josiah are the only people since they've been doing the Gatorade to same team back-to-back years win the State Player of the Year.
Yep. Yeah. So that's also pretty cool to have mine up and then his right next to mine, and then his USA gold banner right next to that one. It's pretty cool just to have those 3 banners sitting right there forever.
No question. So you had one of the biggest blow-ups of the summer playing with TMP between your junior and senior seasons. You ended your high school year winning that state championship unranked with low to mid-major offers, and then you ended that summer with 30-plus high major offers and a top 75 ranking. What was that summer experience like for you?
It was fun. I still remember it. We were playing in Emerson, Georgia, at the Under Armour tournament they had. It was kind of just like really, it was all in a matter of like 3 days where I really started to take off. So it was just, I just remember, just playing at a very high level for that weekend. And throughout that weekend, a lot of things happened, and it was just a lot of fun.
And then you ended up choosing Vanderbilt over everybody else. You had, as we said, 30-plus high major offers and all that kind of stuff. What was it about Vanderbilt that really stood out to you during the recruiting process?
Just like the academics and the athletic prowess that they have, playing in the SEC, which at the time was probably the best basketball league or second best, top 2 at the minimum. Then you got athletics that are pretty much unmatched. It's the best of both worlds. There's nothing more you could ask for.
You entered Vanderbilt probably as the third string, the third player in the class behind Simi and Darius both. However, you ended up, averaging 33 minutes, starting all 17 conference games and all that kind of stuff throughout that year. How did you grow during your freshman year?
It's kind of just like paying your dues. You get to a new place, you have to learn how to do things. You have to learn, you got to learn the style of play. You got to learn how the coaches reacts to things and what he likes to do. And so it's just like, sitting back, learning more and more as the season progressed. Started to get into the flow of the game more, letting the game come to me more, and just getting better every day.
And then coming off of that season, experiencing some personal success at the end of that year, and then obviously your coach getting let go and all that kind of stuff. What was your mentality coming off of that season, heading into the summer for your workouts? What was your mindset?
Just get as best as I can. Going into this season, this was an all revenge season since we had a pretty bad year my freshman year. So it was a lot of determination. Felt like I had to put a lot on my shoulders to get the team where we wanted to be this upcoming season. And so it was just a lot of determination and hard work. And there were goals that I wanted to reach and that I wanted to get, and there was nothing that was going to keep me from getting them.
What were some of those goals?
To make it to the tournament, of course, to get a ton of revenge with every SEC team we played. Make it deep into the SEC tournament, hopefully get all the way, and then, get the bid to the NCAA tournament, which, I've never been to. And then, individual goals, the SEC Player of the Year, All-American, all the things that I think I could have achieved.
So even with the season being cut short for you, your usage rate went up from 20.7 to 26.3, your PER up from 14.8 to 29, 3-point shooting from 34% to 52%, points per game up from 11 to 23. One of the most notable jumps of any player in the country. What do you attribute this rise to?
Just like I said, like hard work over the summer. I came in determined, a lot of hard work, mornings, nights, and then also the coaching staff, just guiding me in the right direction. They've done it all. They've been there, done that. They know the ins and outs of the game of basketball, and just, listen to every single thing anyone had to tell me and just taking it in. I think they just guided me to a successful path. So
individually, what would you say that your biggest improvement was going from year 1 to year 2? If you had to put it on one or two specific things.
Say letting the game come to me. Understanding the flow of the basketball game, and the game, letting the game slow down for me.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest jump I had.
And then we mentioned a little bit earlier your injury cut short and all that kind of stuff. How's your rehab coming along?
Oh, it's good. Yep, everything's on track, coming along great.
So to say this was an odd year, both personally and with the coronavirus and all that kind of stuff, would be an understatement. What all went into your decision to go ahead and declare for the draft?
It was just guidance from Coach Stackhouse, all the people around me back home. It just seemed like the time was right. It just seemed like the time was right. I had a great season. The dream's always been to play in the NBA. And so when the opportunity arises, you got to go chase the dream.
And it's been known that you have a long-standing relationship with Khris Middleton. How has he played a role in your development?
I mean, every summer he would come back to the high school or back to Charleston to work out with him over the summers, taking anything he had to give me, all the guidance he had. Just kind of use him as a big brother. Any questions that I have, any concerns I have, he's always there to answer them.
What type of advice has he given you going through this process, this NBA draft process and all that kind of stuff?
Stay the course. Just stay the course, trust the process, and have fun with it. You only get to do this once.
So you're a notorious hard worker. It's a well-known fact about you, to the point of obsessively like working on your craft. Where does this drive come from?
I would say from my dad from a young age. We used to always wake up at like 6 a.m., go out in the country and cut down trees for hours a day. And so I think he instilled hard work in me from the very beginning.
This past year, you played for Coach Jerry Stackhouse. Obviously he played 17 years in the NBA, multiple All-Star games. He went for 15-plus points per game 9 times throughout his career. How did he help you in developing your game?
He helped me with learn more nuances of the game. He never tried to teach big things. He always tried to teach the little things, little tricks to get more space, or the little tricks to read your opposing defenders or the offensive player that you are defending. He's very detail oriented, and so from him, I definitely learned more details of the game and more of how to play the game and make the game work the way you want it to.
Now, in your time at Vanderbilt, did y'all ever play one-on-one or have any shooting matches or anything like that?
We had a couple shooting matches, but we only played one-on-one one time. It was only each person got the ball one time. We both scored. So there's no real stories there.
How'd the shooting matches turn out?
I think we know who won those.
So you would routinely beat him?
Yes.
I like it. So you're a noted catch and shoot player, but you showed the ability to really shoot it off movement this year. Also attacking closeouts with the 1-2 dribble pull-ups and stuff. How would you say, how valuable is this ability translating into the NBA level for you?
Just the ability to create your own shot and not be a one-dimensional player. Knowing your role and knowing what's gonna help you get on the floor and what's gonna help you help your team win and contribute to a positive effect while you're on the floor, and then growing from there. I think it's just tremendous.
So throughout your career at Vanderbilt, your defense really improved. Starting from when you started on to where you ended up at and everything. What would you attribute your improvement on defensive end and all that kind of stuff to?
Like I said, just trying to help your team any way you can. Defense wins games, as they say. Every good team has a player who does the dirty work, even though nobody wants to do it. And so one thing Coach Stackhouse says, if your best player is doing the dirty work, then there's no excuse for someone else to not be doing the dirty work. And so, I'm always going to try and be that guy to do some of the dirty work, whether it be pushing somebody out the way and getting an offensive rebound or diving on the floor. Any little way that I can help give my team energy or help my team win, I think it's beneficial, so I'm going to do it.
What would you say that some of the biggest misconceptions are about your game that you've heard?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to what people what outside people have to say about my game. I just pay attention to the people that are close, coaching staff, people who are really with me and want the best for me.
So I guess in the gym now, I know that during the coronavirus and stuff, you're working out and all that kind of stuff. What stuff are you working on right now?
Just becoming an all-around better basketball player, making better reads off pick and rolls, ball handling. Like I said, shooting on the move, just everything that a basketball player needs at any level. Not specifically trying to focus on one thing and become a one-dimensional player, just trying to become a better basketball player as a whole.
Sure. And how would you describe your game, and what players, I guess, do you study at the next level?
like obviously, I always watch Khris because he's the guy. I love to watch C.J. McCollum, just the way he's able to create shots. Doesn't need to put on the floor that much to get a shot off. He's real quick, no wasted movements. I watch J.J. Redick, Kyle Korver, the way they come off screens, every little nuance that they have as well. It's an abundance of guys that I watch, but I try to take a little bit from each one of them and put it into my game.
So there seems to be a cluster of kind of wings together in this year's draft, from Okoro to Devin Vassell, Sadiq Bey, yourself, even throwing like Tyrese Halliburton and RJ Hampton in there. What have you done, and what are you doing to try to differentiate yourself, I guess, or how do you feel that you differentiate yourself from this group of players?
I guess this is the way I played this year. It was just a phenomenal season. Just the way I shot the ball and, the way I tried to lead my team this year. I think it all speaks. But, you know what they say, like, film speaks for itself, I guess. Like, film always exposes. Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
And especially with today's NBA game, the shooting and stuff translates. You going for 52% with as many shots as you took this year. I mean, it's kind of a, like you said, the film doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Your rise in draft boards has been immense. You ended last year as the back end of a second round kind of guy. You slid into the first round during the season. Now you're a possible projected lottery pick. What type of stuff are you hearing as you go through this process, in the upcoming?
Like I said, I see it because, I got all my friends who send them to me, but, I try not to pay attention to it too much just because I'm a big believer in you got to do what got you here. And what got me here is, taking it one day at a time and not looking towards the future. And so I know, like, the only concerns I have is just getting better, getting to the gym today, tomorrow, working on the craft and being 1% better than I was the day before.
So looking around the draft, understanding you didn't get to play against everybody that's up there and all that kind of stuff, who are 5 guys in this year's draft that you like for the NBA?
What do you mean?
It's like who are 5 guys that are eligible for the draft this year, whose game that you like?
Like James Wiseman, what he was able to do early in the year was really impressive. Isaac Okoro is a great athlete, great defender. Tyrese Halliburton is able to see the floor, make great reads. Precious is a hard worker, hard player. Always makes winning plays. Dive on the floor and whatnot. And then I guess Anthony Edwards, got to see him in person. Good shot creator. Those 5 guys are really good players. But,
so what would one thing be that you would have to say that if an NBA team's looking to draft you, what's one thing that they would be getting in Aaron Nesmith?
Well, hard worker for sure. A hard worker, somebody who's going to listen to everything you tell him. A guy that you're going to have no problems with off the floor. All I want to do is play basketball, eat, and go to sleep. Just somebody who wants to get better every single day and somebody who wants to win and help contribute to the team any way that I possibly can.
So taking a step back a little bit, we've talked all about the draft stuff and everything. A couple more questions, though. They're going to be a little bit more light. The runs that y'all have in the summer at Porter-Gaud with everybody that comes back home and all that kind of stuff, the talk of those lasts throughout the year, even more so than the seasons y'all had and stuff. What's it like in the gyms when everybody comes back and all the trash talking's going and the shots are being made and all that kind of stuff? What's a day like in the Porter-Gaud gym during the summer?
It's fun. I look forward to those days. Those are a lot of fun. Having all the guys come back from overseas, Josiah, Jake. It's just a lot of fun. Very competitive basketball. Even though we haven't been able to do it in a while, those are days that are always fun. Jalen Slauson from Furman. It's just all the guys. It's been a big brotherhood. It's just a lot of fun to play with.
So, obviously your Porter-Gaud team that you had was incredible. 3 state championships, namely those 2 teams your last 2 years. How do you feel like those 2 teams, or maybe even your senior year team, stack up in the all-time history of South Carolina basketball? If we were to put like a Sweet 16 together, How do you think that Porter-Gaud team would fare in the history?
It's the #1 seed. It's easy. It's not even a question about it. There's no question about it. #1 seed, easy.
#1 seed. Yeah, I was talking to Josiah last week. He came on and we were chatting about it and everything too. He said that starting 5 was as good as any that the state's seen.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's the top #1 team that ever played South Carolina basketball, in my opinion. It was just too much talent. You know, we had Jake, Josiah, me, you know, and then you also had like 2 to 3 other D1 basketball players on that team as well.
Wojcik was on that team too, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Even then, we had like Paxson, Paxson went to La Lumiere, playing at Loyola Chicago this year, played him this year, and we had his little brother.
Mm-hmm.
We got multiple offers now. Then we had Harrison playing in New York. I just think we had too much, especially for a small private school. We just had too much. That's easy #1 seed.
I love it. How was the difference going from playing Skeeza basketball to the SEC? What was that discrepancy like when it comes to fans and atmosphere?
I mean, I don't. The fans don't bother me. It's fun because at a certain point it just becomes noise. So you get used to that like extremely quickly. But in game wise, the speed of the game, like I said, that's what I think. Like that was the biggest jump I made over the summer. I guess not jump I made, but biggest adjustment from playing more collegiate basketball was the speed of the game slowing down.
No doubt. And then South Carolina has, over the last maybe 10 years, has as a whole experienced a huge surge of talent coming through, going all the way from like PJ Dozier, Sindarius Thornwell, Tevin Mack, Juwan Evans, Nick Claxton, yourself, Josiah, Zion, Ja, all that kind of stuff. Two parts to this question. What do you think it is about the state of South Carolina that's producing players, elite players, at this type of rate?
I'm not quite sure, honestly. All I have to say is don't sleep on South Carolina. A lot of people just like chalk us up for a football state, but I think we're better than that.
And then what is one guarantee that you know, like a college coach comes in and recruiting a kid from the state of South Carolina, whatever the case, what is one guarantee that a kid from the state of South Carolina, what's one trait that they're definitely going to have?
I mean, we all seem to have pretty good character, you know. We all seem to have a pretty good character, you know, high-level kids. Not too many head cases that come out of South Carolina, I feel. No
doubt. And then, you know, Aaron, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you taking some time out. It's been great to see you coming all the way middle school, what you've done now, and then I can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Hey, I'm excited. I can't wait. Yeah.
No, I bet you can. I bet you this period, I'm sure, is the worst. In between stopping playing and then waiting for the draft, the anticipation, I bet is just it's like, can we do it, please?
Yeah, I wish it was tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's going to be exciting and all that kind of stuff, man. But thank you again.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to interview me.
Always. Absolutely. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in to the Absolute Basketball Experience. For Aaron Nesmith, I'm Jamie Shaw. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
Commodores very efficient so far this season.
That Moyer definitely is a great addition to the defense. Get yourself to the elbow right at that free throw line, and if the defense doesn't commit, go ahead and take that soft jumper.
Halfway done first half. Move it to the corner. This is guy they want from
ball for
right.
sure.
No, at least try to do something good before I have to go to the bench. Nesmith keeps on firing. Nesmith from the left wing. He can hit him. Junior. Toss able to get back and settle into his defense. Nesmith to get the look they want.
Got his hands on that ball.
Vanderbilt gets a turnover on the inbounds. Nesmith stepped around. Holding a 3-point lead. Nesmith, a contested three.
Game like this, the Commodores have got to do a better job rebounding.
Going from side to side. See if they can get a look for him. There you go. From way out there, Aaron Nesmith.
Very poised. He doesn't force anything that is not there.
Turns it over. Nesmith with the hammer. An open look, couldn't make it. Some subs for both sides. The next stoppage. Nesmith. He's so. They are well schooled. They run their stuff. Get some good looks.
They're going to run their offense, and they're going to make sure that at the end of the day, got to get to the point where he's shooting those shots. Whether he thinks he's open or not, he's got to shoot that basketball.
Obina lost the handle. Nesmith was right there. Chuck went as he forces it up and in.
Every single night, you got to show up ready to play. Got to love it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun ride in conference. Things get started in early January. Nesmith.
Here the Commodores run their out-of-bounds play, making sure they keep high.
Nesmith.
He is doing, even on turnovers, they're doing a good job of making sure that they get back on defense.
Nesmith. They are. Comes off that screen. They got two guys on him. Good hand inside by Ublak, but it came back up top. Now Nesmith will try from down. Indeed it is. Here's Nesmith and a nice little inside they go. Step back fade away from Algonquin, Illinois. On the way to Rockford, the great state of Illinois.
Yep,
and
great
Chicago,
state.
Northwest. Chicago, tough shot there from Nesmith. Got it to go.